Hey everybody, welcome to the Farm Grill Fresh how-to video series. Today we are going to be talking about how to grill a half a chicken. You know, Father's Day is coming up and most dads love cooking on the grill, and so we've got a short little series here on how to cut up this chicken and how to grill it in half on the grill. So first, take your chicken. I skipped the part where I rinsed it in the sink. I figure everybody can do that. Rinse it off really well, make sure everything's cleaned out, especially in the cavity. You never know what's hiding in there. Occasionally stuff gets left behind that's not tasty to eat. So I like to take a big kitchen shear. A good solid knife will work also. Cut in, kind of separate the legs. Now I like to cut in just to the left or the right of the breastbone and cut all the way down and through. So you kind of gotta, depending on your scissors and how sharp it is, you might have to work at it a little bit. But you should be able to cut right down, right just alongside the breastbone here, and make your way through all the way down to the neck cavity. Once you get that far, you can cut down and through. Now, if you don't have a very large grill, one thing you can do is to make it a little easier room-wise. You can go back through and cut it down this way, so you get two full halves. I like to just leave it like this. Flip it over here and give it a good firm press down, kind of split that out and make that stuff pancake down as best we can. Now that you've got that done, I take butter. Anything we can do to get some tasty, extra healthy fats in there. Plus it makes the skin nice and crispy. Loosen it up a little bit in your hands if it's not. And then I like to just rub it over the skin. Get it in there in all the cavities and crevices. I should have patted my chicken down before I did it here to get the butter to stay. I'll just kind of pack it in the crevices here. Make sure you get underneath the wings, underneath the legs. Then, seasoning part. If you have our Table to Garden resource guide, you've got our seasoning salt in there. That recipe works perfect for grilling on chicken. Just bring it along. I like to sprinkle it on extra thick. I like a lot of seasoning on my food, but if you don't like it as seasoned, just lightly sprinkle it on there. You can always season to your taste. You don't have to season to mine. Again, like with the butter, make sure you get underneath the wings and everywhere else along the way. Once it's nice and coated, we'll take it out to the grill. So we'll go get the grill started and we'll take it from there in just a little bit. Okay, the next step is getting our grill ready. So we've come out here, I lit the grill, got it nice and hot. You can see the grates are starting to smoke. So I like to take a brush, scrape off all that excess stuff that's left over from whatever we cooked last time. And then I should have done this earlier, but for this whole chicken, I'll take this top grate off and I will set it off to the side just to give us a little extra room for grilling. And then what I like to do is grab a paper towel or a rag, dip it in some olive oil, an oil that burns at high heat, and then rub it across the grill grates there, get them nice and greased up. just to accept that chicken a little better. When we bring it out next, what we're going to do is we're going to shut the 2 middle burners off, because we're going to be cooking with what's called indirect heat. So we'll leave our outside heat on, our 2 outside burners, shutting our middle burners off. If you have only 3 burners, you can do like 1 burner off on this side and place the chicken over here and leave these 2 on. You can do it a couple ways, but you want to shut off heat to a couple of them and leave the other 2 going. So you can see our temperatures drop down a little bit. We want to get our temperature down a little bit further, back down to about 400. My camera will focus here. There we go. Down to about 400, and we'll start cooking at around 400 degrees. Alright, we're back here out at the grill. You can hear the mower going in the background. It's a pretty nice day. I brought our chicken out, and so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our chicken and we're going to place it skin side down in the middle of the rack. Good sear going on it there. And we're going to let it sit like that for 20 minutes. And after those 20 minutes are up, we're going to come out and flip it back up. You can see our temperature is at about 400 degrees there. Hoping our grill stays nice and warm and on spot with that. But so we'll let that sit in there for about 20 minutes. Come back out and check it to see how it's cooking. Okay, we're back out to look at our chicken. Temperature staying right at 400 degrees, which is awesome. So here's what we do. We come in this time and we grab that chicken. And we're going to flip it over so the skin side is up. And that skin side is looking nice and crispy. So if you want to make sure it stays extra crispy, what I like to do too is just add a little extra butter on here. Extra butter never hurt anything. So we'll smear a little extra butter on there. Get it good underneath the wings, all around it. It's nice and hot in there. And we'll leave it on this side now for another 20 minutes, cooking at 400 degrees. Alright, our temperature is still sitting at 400, right where we want it to be. Our chicken is looking golden and delicious. I didn't mention this earlier, I'm going to point it out now. With the 2 burners off on our grill, you have to have the 2 outside burners almost on high to get that 400 degree temperature. So we are going to just rotate the chicken. You can see the underside is getting nice and cooked. Rotate, ooh, it's getting extra delicious. The bone just pulled right out of the leg there. Anyway, we're going to let it sit for 20 more minutes. We'll stick a meat thermometer in there. It should be done at that point. One other thing you can try and do, and I like to do a lot, I didn't do it today, we have a round pizza stone. I like to set that on top just to give it a little extra heat from the top. That stone absorbs the heat from the grill and transfers it into the chicken. But today it seems to be working really well just to leave it nice and golden and sitting here in the stove. So we'll leave it 20 more minutes after we rotated it there, and we'll come back, stick a meat thermometer, and check and see what temperature it reads. Last time here, you can see my heat is dropped down a little bit because I was testing the chicken to make sure it was the right temperature. Took our temperature gauge, stuck it in the breast of the chicken, that thickest, hardiest part. It read right about 165. I'm going to pull it out, set it on a platter, cover it, let it sit for about 10 more minutes. It'll still continue to cook internally then, and with that cover over it helps keep those juices and delicious flavors in, and then it'll be ready to serve. So it takes a little bit, about an hour between prep time and cook time, maybe a little longer given your grill, but hopefully when it's all said and done, your chicken comes out nice and crispy and delicious just like this one. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Enjoy this little tutorial on how to half a chicken and cook it on the grill.